have you in the kitchen again. This is great.
Yeah. On camera this time.
Hi. Hello. How are
Hi.
you? This is Autumn Simmons.
And David Bazemore.
And we are of the award-winning web series, sitcom web series.
The Quirk Chronicles!
Yes.
I need a spoon.
I don't know how.
You don't want to break that.
There's a spoon actually in that drawer.
Okay.
Yeah, if you wanted to. So, we're here today with David Bazemore, who portrays Lamar Jenkins, and I myself portray Desiree Pierce. This is the first time I've never had you in my kitchen. Welcome to my kitchen. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm feeling wonderful.
I was talking to them.
Oh.
But how are you doing, David?
I'm feeling good.
Okay, so it's kind of great. we began resuming the Quirk Chronicles this past June, and so we shot 4 new episodes with David a part of. We're featuring in, co-starring, more than featuring, co-starring in 2 of those episodes.
I've come up a level.
Yes, you come up a level. Episode 15, Nay to Funny Business, and also Greener Than Shade, which is episode 16. So as you know, if you've been nosy enough, on the YouTube channel, The Quirk Chronicles, we have recently debuted episode 14, The Lady in Green.
Yeah, go check that out right now.
So what were your initial thoughts of The Lady in Green?
I love the acting. It's always interesting when actors get to act opposite themselves. I don't think it's something I've ever done. You have like greats like Eddie Murphy who does stuff like that, and it was really cool to see you do that. The acting was really cool.
It was the first time playing against myself. It's crazy because I am a person outside of, Des, and then Autumn Simmons, and Des, and then the Lady in Green.
Yeah.
I think I have like 4 different personalities now. It's very weird.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
I have questions for you.
Sure.
Oh, you see what we're doing here?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So, how hard was it to play against yourself without yourself being there? Like when we're on set, if there's like a close-up or something, usually there's an actor off camera that, the actor can play off of. But when it's just you and yourself and there's no one else there, you really have to use your imagination. So, did you have an idea of how you would deliver lines?
I did.
What was your process?
I did. To be honest with you, I've been toying around with the UK accent a bit.
Okay.
And speaking
just randomly?
Well, since 2017,
okay.
I've been playing with that.
Where did that?
I don't know. I just wanted to try because I'll be honest with you. I happen to be a fan of tarot, and there's a lot of tarot on YouTube.
Okay.
I've been watching a lot of individuals who have UK accents from YouTube, who have amazing channels, content, and so I just kind of playing with it, just to see how it would stick if I were to try it. Because there is a such thing as a Black British girl.
Yes.
I've met a few in my life, and so it's kind of interesting. So I said, let me just see if I like to mimic and I like to try different things and different characters. And I experiment with emulating or imitating or might have impressions of certain individuals, but not anyone that has a UK accent in particular. And so I wanted to just kind of go with that and try something in using that type of UK inflection to see what would happen with Lady in Green. Because I knew that if I were to play against myself, I would need to be completely, starkly different from Desiree.
Okay, so that's like the most extreme.
Right, in order for it to be plausible. And I need to look totally ridiculous.
Right.
So I was like, okay, when I saw this green suit.
Yeah, where did you get that from?
Amazon. I did, and when I saw it.
Wait.
Yeah.
Did you search for the green suit first before you wrote the episode? Or?
Well, it was crazy. I just initially.
Details.
Lady in Green was actually titled Lady in the Closet.
Oh. That's a different episode.
The Lady in the Closet. And so I was like, okay, when I realized that I could have fun with this, wearing this suit. Of course, it could have been any color, but I thought green would be more fun. And then, you can do things with, Ben was telling me, our DP, that, shout out to Ben. Ben, hey, how's it going? He was telling me that, we had more time, you could just stuff like take your head off your neck. And
have it like floating.
Yeah, like Cheshire Cat or something like that. But we didn't have that time to do all that. But hypothetically, the green suit it whet the imagination with the possibilities of what we could do with the green suit. So the lady in green, like I think of green, I associate it with abundance and fertility.
Oh, that's deep.
And so it does have a bit of a spiritual connotation as well. And of course I found this, I like going to wig shops. I have fun with it. I've done that, I've expanded more since we started the web series.
You've had a lot of hair changes.
And I've worn my natural hair as well. Right. So I want people to know that as well. I do wear my natural bushy, poofy hair, and I do experiment with different hair as well. And it's just for kicks, it's fun, it's fashion for me. It's like donning another character or putting on new attire. I have fun with it.
Yeah.
And so going back to this, I went to this wig shop and so I saw this fro and I was like, fro's awesome, but if it was copper with the green, it's like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like why would I not want to do that? And so I knew that her whole style had to be completely different from Des.
Okay.
You know, and she just had to be completely outlandish, completely just the opposite, polar opposite of Des in many ways. So I was like, she's wearing her hair in afro and it's big and bushy. Des has her
straight,
or at least straighter, and look more, you know, just a completely different look.
Okay.
So.
Well, check out that episode.
Yeah, the lady in green.
To see what we're talking about.
Yes, and so you were on board with us for 2 more episodes.
Yes.
But let's talk about some other things. Before we get into the wonderful dialogue we have in store for you, we also are going to be cooking because you're in the kitchen now. And so Dave and I, we were having like conversations, and the main thing we were like, what are we going to make? Like, what could we possibly make that's fun? So I wanted to share how years ago, when I say years ago, back in 2015, November 2015, I took a trip to Thailand. And a very popular star that many of you know of by the name of Issa Rae was actually a host for this particular trip.
Shout out to Issa.
Shout out to Issa Rae of Insecure. And she was the travel host. Not the travel ambassador, but she was the host for this particular trip. And she also had a workshop featured on this trip. It was like a 9-day trip. And I found it online because I was a fan of Issa anyway. And I had already connected with her, becoming one of her patron members.
This is before Insecure.
This was before Insecure, and this is when Issa was still doing other things in addition to being awkward. She had graduated from the Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl, was doing other projects and even some TV where she was co-hosting. And so I found out about this trip because I basically partnered briefly with her for the Patreon as a supporter, and so I had a chance to chat with her for 30 minutes and she gave me pointers. This was back in September of 2014. Early, so this is crazy. This is like 5 years ago. That's 5 years ago, but the trip was 4 years ago. And so I had an opportunity. We went to Bangkok, and that's where we had the actual workshop, and then we also went to Phuket. It was a beautiful island that's like paradise. We island hopped on a boat and we snorkeled. We did all this like cool stuff. So on that trip, we also learned how to make Thai dishes. So we went to I want to be accurate because it's been some time. My Quirky girl usually remembers things, but we went to the Phuket Thai Cookery School. And it is located on the island of Phuket, and we spent most of the day there learning how to prepare authentic Thai dishes. And so one of the dishes that we learned to prepare was Pad Thai. And so that's what we're going to be making today. We learned to make about like 5 different dishes. And I found that since I've taken that trip, I tend to prepare that dish the most. And so it was.
So this is the real deal.
This is the real deal, and I can actually prepare this dish without really looking at the ingredients because I've made it so much. So I feel like I'm really good with it.
Like master chef.
I've nearly mastered it. I've nearly mastered it.
I hope it's good.
And we've got pictures of that trip as well, and it was a good trip. It was very beautiful, and. So now we're back to Quirky.
And we're back.
We're back.
And we'll be chopping these too.
And we're going to be doing that. I kind of feel like I want to wash my hands because I was touching things. But do we need to get anything else out? See, we need hot chili sauce.
This stuff right here is the devil.
He says devil.
I can't do it. It's way too spicy. You know, when I first had this, I thought this was just like regular hot sauce.
Right.
You know, because I'm black, you know, we have hot sauce, soul food, all that other stuff. And I tried it because I had heard so many people talking about it. It was like, oh, I love srirachas. Oh my God, it's so good.
The devil.
I tried this. This is way too spicy. This is nothing like hot sauce. This is on some other level. So.
Okay, well, this is the thing. This is an ingredient that we are featuring, but we will not put as much in. And maybe you may not want to do the hot wing show, because there's a gentleman on YouTube who does a show where a lot of stars come on that show, and they have to eat hot wings on different levels of spicy, and it's not for the faint of heart, and it's like it's a challenge, but
not for me.
So we are going to put this. I was going to ask you, how do you do with spicy food? And you say not so well.
You can do it. We can do a dab.
Do a dab. Okay, and I also have we have fish sauce. Fish sauce is something that we tend to use, and then my cat comes into the kitchen. How wonderful! I have this beautiful black cat, and he normally isn't as curious to see what I'm doing. You know one thing I love about living in this area?
What?
We have Asian markets near us. We have a lot of Koreans that live in this area, and they have a lot of businesses.
Okay.
So I love going to Asian markets to get like Asian foods.
Yeah.
And they also have Goya there at this particular one.
Okay.
How about that?
Right.
And Hispanics work there. So
okay.
Everything's becoming a melting pot.
Yeah.
And blacks are working at the Asian establishments.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's
it's the American way.
That's
right?
a big deal.
No, they're becoming multicultural in these establishments. As I was mentioning, I like being able to go to Chinatown, but when I can't go to Chinatown in Philadelphia, in the area where I presently reside, we have Asian markets.
Okay.
And so I like to go to the Asian markets. I like the culture and being in a different environment that reminds me of some other place outside of my own culture.
Okay.
And so I'm also studying Korean, by the way. That's why in episode 14, Lady in Green.
Oh, then you actually, I didn't know what language that was.
It's Korean. I should have stressed that. But I'm studying a little bit. I've been studying it for about a year now. I'm nowhere near fluent, but I'm getting there in terms of acclimating to learning the language.
Can you shout out like your Korean fans?
No, I
maybe?
can't. I can't right now. But I can say.
We'll insert that later.
I can say annyeong gaseyo. Annyeong gaseyo.
What's that mean?
Like hello, hi.
Oh.
Good afternoon.
Oh, how do you say it? Onion.
Annyeong gaseyo.
Onion gaseyo.
Yeah. Annyeong gaseyo. Annyeonghaseyo. So it's like greeting, good afternoon, like you know, that type of thing. So we start off with that. So I got the noodles. So we're gonna be doing the large pad thai. And you can have pad thai. There are a lot of ways you can prepare it. You can prepare it without any meat. You can prepare it vegan style. I like this because it's gluten free. It's rice noodles. So there's no, for those who are gluten intolerant, you can have options. You can have rice noodles available. And we're going to be adding shrimp to our...
Yes.
I know, because I was like, David, you're not vegetarian.
No.
Neither am I. Neither am I. But I have vegetarian meat. I have meatless meals. But I got some shrimp. Yeah. And then we're going to add tofu. And we have our green onion. And what else do we have? We got the fish sauce, your typical salt and pepper. And I do have 2 eggs.
Guess that's like hella convenient.
I know. And you know.
Like, I have.
And I have.
And I have.
And you grab me about a word, like park right. You know. So let me my cat is whining. I think my cat wants to be let out right now. Let me let the cat out. We just stopped it momentarily. I added something. I got up recently. We have bean sprouts, so we need bean sprout as well. So I'm gonna get up for a moment and put this back. My cat is really interesting right now. He needs my attention. I don't know why. It's unusual because he normally doesn't do this when I'm recording. So okay, he's gonna have to deal with that. So okay, I've got the water behind us. If you can see the water, we have a pot back there and it's boiling. How about this? How about you open that front door there and take out some cat food, and I'll feed the cat and see if that's what's going on.
The can? This?
No, the dry.
This one?
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you. We're not adding the all mixer to this, I promise you. But I have a hungry cat. I will be back. And I'm back.
And I'm back.
My cat was hungry. And so I had to feed him, and I didn't expect that my cat would come and interrupt, and I think we heard him, right?
He wanted to be a part of the show.
He did. He was like, you didn't run this by me. I didn't know that they were coming over.
What is this?
He was sniffing shoes and very territorial. He was acting like he was the man of the house. Very interesting, because the thing is, I do share a bedroom with this cat.
Oh, okay.
So because he sleeps in the bed,
he's
territorial. He thinks like, he's the man of the house.
Okay.
So I do not sleep alone.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, so going over everything, let's just go ahead and start chopping, and then we can take turns. But we got green onion. Do you like green onion to flavor?
It's delicious.
It's delicious. And this is the thing you need to know. David Bazemore is a wonderful cook. I don't know many of you know that. But
Am I?
You are. You cook. And from what I understand, some things that you've shared, you cook pretty well.
Yeah. Honestly, guys, I just look up recipes, but I don't cook like normal things that people would expect. Like, I'm the guy that'll look up a recipe for like green bean fries or like some type of special salmon. I don't know. I can't remember the last thing I cooked.
You made like some chicken Alfredo stuff. Like you can get out there in terms of how far.
Oh yeah, I'll make stuff like chicken tikka masala, like.
I don't even know what chicken is. I don't know what that is. What is that? Is that Italian?
No, it's an Indian dish.
Oh,
it's
marsala?
Really marsala, yeah.
Okay, I know.
Chicken tikka marsala.
It was the way you said it.
Yeah.
But I know exactly.
So I'll cook stuff like that, and occasionally, traditional food, traditional soul food. But and I just look up recipes. Everyone seems pretty impressed, but I'm literally just looking up recipes. I'm not doing this off the cuff at all. I don't have that kind of palate.
But you are a good cook. Please don't undersell yourself. This is not the time.
Yeah, check out my Instagram. I have pictures of my food here and there.
Yeah, give them your Instagram handle.
It is Bazemore, Bazemore, David.
And we'll play something under there.
Yeah, we'll probably spell it out.
For you. Oh, and see, you're going to cry. So you're already... Well, see, you're more of a thespian.
Okay.
Than I am.
Okay.
Already, David. I'm having my moment, and I'm like, what would be a great line, dramatically speaking, that I could cry right now? I really don't want to cry right now.
I'll never let go.
I just realized, let me get these onions out of my face. Earlier today, I was doing a piece of The Action, which is a classic movie from the late 70s that stars Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby. And I kept doing, Shirley Ralph plays this character where they have like these kids that they're kind of like rough around the edges and they need to be refined, and they're in this program, and she plays this character. I forget the name of the character that she portrays, but it's one of Shirley Ralph's first roles, prominent roles in a movie from back in like the late 70s.
Okay.
And so she has this thing where I kept saying today, I was like, time, damn it! Like it's real gully, because she like confronts this woman who's like a bougie black woman, and they're like inner city kids that are considered to be underprivileged.
Okay.
And so they're picked on, and they're stereotyped because of the fact that their demographic and their persuasion, they're not thought of in a high regard.
What is it called?
It's called A Piece of the Action. And so Cheryl's character snapped on the woman who was real kind of coming across like a little bougie, but that wasn't her intention. And she was like, can you do the work? Are you dependable? Like she was just going off.
Oh, wow.
It's real loud. It's real like ghetto. But it's good. It's like good acting.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
And then my favorite part is when the lady, like she feels offended, and turns out that she's like real sensitive, and she's like, Barbara, it's so unfair, Barbara. I paid my dues. Like she was just like, she goes on and then she cries.
Are you guys catching this greatness?
No, it's not.
Right?
It made me, when I was like, I can do something with this energy. And she actually does cry, but I don't want to cry right now because I don't want to mess up my face.
Well, is this enough onion for us?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a horrible rendition of a snippet of Piece of the Action, by the way. It sounds better when
I'm sure people will check it out.
Before the cameras were on, it sounded much better. But time, damn it! Time, damn it! Time, damn it!
I don't know. I haven't seen the movie, so.
So you see, you know what I'm talking about. And your electric vibrator, that comes up. Speaking of that,
what is this movie about?
It's really about like this whole. It had nothing to do with that. It had nothing to do with it. It's about Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby's character.
Oh, okay.
With them getting in trouble with some thugs and stuff.
Okay.
And they almost got caught, and instead of them going to prison, they have to do community service with this particular program and helping these kids because they're basically criminals. Okay. And so the FBI agent portrayed by James Earl Jones, all of those are great talent, by the way. That's what they have to do. So in order to avoid going to prison. So I'm going to cut up more onions, by the way, because we have so much more to talk about. This will likely be like an hour conversation. Maybe next time when you come back, I hope you do come back before October or in October, we can do gluten-free apple pie. Because we did talk about, I was like, David, should we do cherry or apple? You said apple pie.
Yeah, I love apple pie.
So we got apple pie. So next time, the cat is still in the kitchen. The next time,
he's not going anywhere.
I cleaned up the kitchen. So some people have this thing when you have animals that live, they're like, is the kitchen clean?
Oh yeah, I know. I got 3 cats.
Well, you know, because you're a cat lover. Like, that's another thing you and I have in common is that I have 2 felines. I did attempt to adopt a 3rd feline this past spring, and he stayed for about a month, and then he disappeared, and I was so brokenhearted. I'll show you pictures. His name is Jasper. Jasper is beautiful, and it broke my heart when he left and he didn't come back, but I think it's because someone took him in, so that makes me happier if he found a home. Yeah. And now I can cry about it because I'm cutting onions and Jasper left me. And
that's the moment.
And I miss him.
I miss him so
much. Jasper, come back.
Why, Jasper? Why?
I did that. I actually went through that phase where I was outside, like, Jasper! Like, I was
in the rain, just wig soaked, so like eyeliner running, in the rain screaming for Jasper.
I was, literally.
Neighbors looking out the window like,
they already think I'm crazy.
Is she okay?
They know that I'm not. They know that I'm not.
She's looking for Jasper.
They don't even know Jasper. They thought Jasper was a man, and it was a cat.
Her man left her.
Her man left her.
She's screaming for Jasper.
She's screaming for Jasper.
Right.
Jasper, come back, please. Get on meds, something. Okay, so I think we have enough.
Okay.
Think we have enough?
That's like it.
Okay. So then the next thing that we've got, we also have eggs because we're gonna add 2 eggs.
Okay.
So we make sure to eat all of them and leave 2.
Okay.
And we have an Easter egg hunt.
Gotcha.
Belated. Let me do this real fast. I like to stab.
Wow.
No, just opening up the tofu.
Okay.
Like, yeah. I had a crazy moment, I swear.
Never a dull moment.
Now this thing is filling over with
water.
water.
Water. You have to like dump that out.
Yeah, David is going to talk to you. I'm going to get up and dump this.
Talk to you?
Put the camera on David. Put the camera on David. I'm wasting water, but it's okay.
So hi guys, this is your water draining stall coming from David Bazemore. How's everybody's doing? How's everyone out there right now? Got your popcorn? You liking the Quirk Chronicles? You gonna keep checking it out?
Okay.
She's back.
I'm back, and I'm put the tofu. You know, tofu doesn't store for long very well. It's best to use it up.
Okay, so let's do this.
Yeah, but we'll be fine for the next few hours because I want to make sure when we actually get to cooking this, we don't have to fiddle around.
Now you have to put all of that in there?
Yes, because we're going to be making enough for also Dillard, who's behind the camera, and another mouth that needs to be fed in the house, and not just you.
I'm sorry.
And then, of course, you and I are going to eat and have plenty, but you would only use like a little bit of this.
Yeah, I'm not a big tofu person.
We should have told me sooner.
It's okay.
You're not allergic to, are you?
You put the shrimp in there, that makes it all better.
Okay, I will. So at least we got something to balance it. So let's talk about other episodes. David, you have been a part of the Quirk Chronicles since episode 4, and there are presently 14, but by the end of this year we'll have 17 episodes because we shot 4 recently. And I think it's been amazing meeting you because you also have this tremendous, considerable thespian background.
I do.
Talk to the audience about your experience outside of the Quirk Chronicles because you're really great with theater as well.
Yeah. Okay, well, I actually have a degree in music theater from Shenandoah Conservatory in Winchester, Virginia. Shout out. I have been in the national tour of a show. I've been in a lot of productions, including Dreamgirls, The Wiz, stuff like that. You can find some clips floating around.
Scottsboro.
The Scottsboro Boys. If you look at that, if you YouTube that, you'll find some clips. You'll see some clips of me performing in the show with Susan Stroman, who's a prominent Broadway director, and some Tony nominees and Tony winners. And yeah, so I'm very fortunate when I got out of school. I came upon your project after I had decided that I wanted to get more camera experience.
You found me on Backstage.
I did.
Yeah.
Backstage.com, if you guys don't know.
Check it out, Backstage.
Is a tool for actors who are, searching for auditions. You can upload your headshot and resume, and, casting directors can come across your page. I feel like I should get paid for that endorsement.
You and I both. Okay.
But I came across, on Backstage because I wanted some more film experience, because acting on film is a little bit different than acting on stage. It's a little bit more contained. So I just wanted to hone those skills, and your project has helped me polish those things up.
And this is very interesting, given that you said that, because you shared with me that you didn't feel initially that you were funny, and that most of the work that you have done is mostly drama. And so what appealed to you also about the Quirk Chronicles is that it's a sitcom web series, so you would have to try your comedic acting chops. And so talk about that, because I actually think Lamar is very funny. You portraying Lamar Jenkins is very funny, and a lot of you receive enough feedback where people find Lamar, he is a hoot. So
thanks, guys.
You're doing the damn thing when it comes to Lamar.
Yeah.
So going back to Lamar Jenkins, you have appeared in a total of 9 Quirk episodes.
Okay.
First came on board with episode 4.
All right.
Now you weren't in 5 and you weren't in 6, but you directed 6.
Woo woo.
I think it was Prompt something circumstance.
Prompt by circumstance.
See, this is crazy.
Check that out.
Prompt by Circumstance, episode 6, David Bazemore directed that one.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out, as he said. Check it out. And it was crazy. I had this moment where it was like, prompt, circumstance. Prompt by circumstance. Yeah. So, and then you were in, you weren't in 7, but you were in 8. And you were in 9, and then you were in 10.
Wow.
A twist off the olive
That's
branch.
my favorite one.
I was going to ask that. I said, what is your favorite Quirk episode?
That's my favorite one just because of the group dynamic we had in that, and it was kind of like a lot of storylines colliding at once.
A twist off the olive branch, episode 10.
Yeah.
Dave said that's his favorite one. The thing about that is when we rehearsed that and when we began to shoot it, it in many ways it felt like a play.
Maybe that's why I liked it so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
He had 6 actors.
Yeah, it wasn't just you and I. I got to really play off of different energies. Everybody was giving something different. And as I mentioned, there was conflict, some storylines colliding. I got to be really sassy and shady.
Yeah, kind of like real life in a way. I'm talking about, you know what I mean. Right. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, so that was kind of like innuendo.
My favorite line from that is, please cut this in when we do this video.
Go ahead and laugh.
My favorite line is when the best friend comes in and I come to you with the flowers, and she says something like, Lamar, I see you, blah 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 blah. I don't know what she says, but I walk away and I say, why would I?
She says, Lamar, you haven't changed.
Oh yeah. Why would I?
And you're like, why would I? And
it was so bitchy.
And then Faye, when Faye hugs Sunny, she gives her the fake hug, and she has this expression.
Right.
Big ups to Mary, by the way.
Mary, shout out to you.
Yeah, she holds it down as Faye. And so she had this perfect expression on her face, it's only an expression that Mary can make anyway. But but it's realistic sometimes with how friendships, obviously those are not, just keep it real. Sunny was a fake friend of Des.
Right.
She was not. Lamar is actually a much better friend than Sunny was, and so it's just sometimes how it is in real life. You see a lot of that, and so you're gonna see a lot of themes in the Quirk Chronicles that are reminiscent of real life dynamics in relationships. And but Lamar is basically, I feel he's in Dez's corner more.
Yeah, and I feel like that. Excuse me.
Sure.
I feel like that episode really solidified their relationship. You get to see what kind of friend he is.
Right.
It's not just all in theory. I'm not just giving you advice. You kind of get to see Lamar in action defending his friend, and you know, the retorts and all of the facial expressions and the sassiness, like for me, that was the episode where I really got to understand the character. He became more clear to me, like who he was, you know, what he wanted, and how he carries himself. So,
and that's very, very interesting, because I feel in the next couple of episodes that we recently shot over the summer, the audience will have a chance to learn a little bit more about Lamar and more of his feelings. And even though we don't yet see his relationship on screen, you're going to be learning more about his involvement and the significant relationship that he presently is in. And so we're going to get more aspects of that, more, I guess you say, just another side of seeing Lamar.
A layer.
Another layer. That's a great way to put it. Another layer of Lamar. And also we get to see how Des supports Lamar with making a very big decision, monumental decision in his life as he, as we say, takes it to the next level, right? And so we have a lot to it.
Which is great, because I feel that these next few episodes really ground Lamar. Like, I kind of feel like in the beginning, because you said you didn't write this character to be a permanent character. Like, that wasn't your intent. Remember back to the episode, the sex party?
Is that what it was? Because I don't know. I just wanted to try. And this is the thing when I was writing the Quirk Chronicles. I knew that it wasn't wise for me to feature so many characters. I knew I had a protagonist, but I couldn't just do the whole show as a one-woman show. I needed other energies and other characters, very different characters to play off of Des.
Right.
And so I was aware of that. And so I have flexibility as a writer, and so as your relationship and my relationship with you grew, and I was able to see how committed you were to the project and the role, I was very much comfortable with expanding Lamar, and that's something, you know, if it had gone another way, I would have went where things went, but it just so happened that your character and your interest in the project and your availability lended to you having more of a stable role in the project. And it just, to be honest, it helps if those who are in a project, they get along well with the producer and the director. If you get along well with one another, you can do more things together, and you make that time that you set aside so that you can create. And I'm amazed at how committed David Bazemore is to his craft. And I'm not just saying that, he is the greatest actor that I've ever worked with in terms of his focus and his commitment and your, just what you give and what you bring. Like, you really are, like, great.
Thank
you are.
you.
And I just wanted to, like, share that with you. And I appreciate all that you've done to contribute to the Quirk Chronicles. And Lamar is really, David Bazemore as an individual and artist is extremely talented. Not only is he a great thespian, and he can also act on camera as well, he's also a model. And he also sings very well. He's a good singer, right? And
that was part of the music theater thing.
He's a good singer, and I would be surprised if you put an album out. And you also dance. You dance well.
Yeah, I danced for a little bit.
You dance well.
I don't do it no more.
He's underselling himself. He's a good dancer because you danced in Scottsboro,
which was a dance-heavy show.
You had to learn a lot of choreography.
Do it all.
And for Dream Girls, did you have to learn choreography?
No, I play CC. So if anybody's familiar with the show or the movie, you know CC, just the little brother. He's not really in the...
Can we hear you do that part? It's more than you. Can we hear you do that? It's...
Effie.
Yeah.
It's more than you. It is more than me.
I love that.
No matter what we are family.
Awesome. I love that song, and so you do justice to that song.
Thank you.
I love that because that's the type of the melody in that part of the song, or just that song in general. It tugs the heartstrings. It really, especially if you've seen the movie. Right. So I've never seen an actual production stage. So I imagine it's intense as well. It's very intense.
It's an extravaganza.
Yeah, but Dream Girls has been out since the 80s. because the original cast members were Loretta Devine,
Yes.
Shirley Ralph again, and Jennifer Holliday. So, and Michael Jackson had seen, he's seen.
It's
when he was
amazing.
here, he used to go to see Dreamgirls, and Latoya Jackson, his sister, they used to go back in the day to see Dreamgirls. Everyone loved Jennifer Holliday because Jennifer Holliday always bring the house down with the "And I'm Telling You" every evening.
And by that time, no one on Broadway had ever sung like that on Broadway.
Except for Stephanie Mills. Who was a Tony Award winning actress for that role.
Right.
So, yes.
So it was a big deal. It was like, this woman is singing like this 8 times a week, you know? But if anybody out there has never seen a stage production of Dreamgirls, please go and check it out. It's a big spectacle. There's the Dreamgirls have 20 plus costume changes that happen instantly. They run off stage in one outfit, they come back on with gowns and different wigs. So it's really cool. Check it out when you get a chance.
Check it out. Yeah. I got my eyes focused on this tofu. Look at my cup running over. It's a lot of tofu, but it's gonna be. I know you said you're not real big on it, but David is so smart. He's so high, and he gives us lots of ideas behind the scenes, and he's really great with his attention to detail. He'll say, it would look a little better if you kind of move over. And he knows what he's talking about. I love having someone around who understands attention to detail, continuity. He gets it. And he makes a wonderful director, by the way. So he's easy to work with because, I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I can be demanding and I may not always come across as being the easiest person. Well, I only say that because that's the perception being a woman of color. Sometimes people are not accustomed to us being in a position of leadership and they don't know what to do with it. But I had to just I'm used to doing a lot of things on my own. And because I had to, because of the fact that, especially with this project, I didn't have a lot of support. And it's something I had to fight for. And so, but when you came on board and you directed that episode, it's I felt that I could relax more. And you were like, I got this because, I'm directing.
I remember you said that. You just felt like you could just act. You didn't have to worry about shots and were we getting it correctly. I remember I actually drew out shot for shot.
I love it. You storyboarded and it was beautiful and you did it by hand. Yeah. And sometimes I have to fight to get my DPs to do that and they don't even want to do that. But you were like, look, I did the storyboard, and you got it on Facebook. You're promoting it, and you're proud of it.
I was excited.
But it's great though because you want people who are on your projects or affiliated with your projects who are enthusiastic. That is vital and that is key. That you want people to be enthusiastic about what it is that you're creating together, so that you can create, and it just makes everything move along a lot more smoothly.
And it's more fun.
It's more fun.
It doesn't feel like work.
It's more fun, and when everyone is more on the same page with energy level and initiative, it really does make the difference.
And you get some amazing performances.
You do.
People feel comfortable.
You do, and I feel very comfortable with you. And I will say this because I do admire your skill and your talent. You made me a stronger actor by being around you. Really, truly. Wow. You made me want to pull up and become better and to take my acting ability to the next level. So you inspire me. And so that's why I'm glad that you and I met because I've learned a lot from you as well in many ways. So thank you.
Thank you, Autumn. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for being a part of the opportunity and helping to make the opportunity. So we've learned a lot from one another, and as you can see, Dillard has decided to zoom in to get some of this wonderful shot of the tofu that we're almost done.
Can I be a hand model?
Yes, you could. QVC will be calling you promptly.
David Bazemore.
Yeah, I like to... I prefer to use boards that are not wooden because they last longer. This is like a plastic board, but I like the authentic look of the wooden chopping board. I had people wonder, oh, you domestic. Autumn, are you domestic? I'm just me, okay? So it's crazy. I overheard someone arguing with someone over the phone today, and this is what the guy was arguing with his lady about. He said, "You're not gonna tell me how to be me."
That's a legitimate argument.
I agree with that. You're not going to tell me how to be me. And I was like, I agree. But I was like, say that to her face. Say that to her face, not over the phone. We've had that conversation over the... Okay, so then I'm going to cut up some more of
just because there's so much
green onions. I hope I don't cry right now. But we're almost there. with, because I want just to have a little more flavor. And we're actually, our water has been boiling gradually behind us. So we will begin to, okay.
Got some root right there.
I got some root. He's like, get the root.
Right there. My hands on it.
That one. Piece. That piece? Okay, that one. Yeah, so we're going to be boiling the noodles and, okay? So I think we have enough stuff. We're good, Dillard. We are ready. Like, I'm taking out all this green onion and I'm about to boil the noodles and, you know, once the noodles are done, we'll be ready to officially make the pad thai, which does not take long. The longest time of anything with any recipe is the prep time, but I thought it would be fun for us to talk a bit while we were...
Yeah, I like this.
It was fun. There's something
Next time we need, like, mimosas or something.
Oh, if I have mimosas, I'll turn into another personality.
I want to see it. Don't you guys want to see it?
You do not want to see that personality. Right. I have at least 4.
I want to see it.
So I'm gonna put this in. So Dave's gonna talk to you. I'm gonna get up and let's just talk about this.
Talk to me from there.
Okay, I'll talk to you from there. Okay.
I'll sit right here.
Right.
I'll lean in.
Keep it up.
Okay. So what are your
So talking about you being a part of like 9 different episodes, you said that you felt that number 10, episode 10, A Twist Off the Olive Branch, is your favorite. So, and you explained why. What do you feel was the most challenging episode for you?
Oh, I think it's the one that people haven't seen yet. The next one.
Okay.
What episode would that be?
Okay. The episode 15. Am I in there? Hi, I'm back. I just put the noodles in.
Oh, you did it?
I just did it.
Okay. Episode 15.
Name to Funny Business.
Yes.
Is it because of the funny pills that was the most challenging episode for you to shoot?
No, that hasn't dropped yet, but it was just, that was the first time I had a lot of lines. And I'll give you some behind the scenes insight. I was just dropping lines here and there, and that was probably the most difficult episode to shoot for me.
We had a lot. The scene...
Because I'm not accustomed to just dropping lines.
2 scenes. There's not a lot of like physical action, just like intimate dialogue. And so we had about 7 pages of material. And we didn't have a lot of time. We did not have a lot of time to rehearse with these episodes, but nonetheless, we still got the performance that we needed. And so we did... I trusted your ability to, you learn lines very fast.
Yes.
And we have a good rapport, so we work well off of one another in terms of just how we collaborate. Right. And so it turned out better. It always turns out better
than what you think.
And I've noticed that with every episode, generally speaking, it's never as bad as you think it's going to be, even if you're like, oh man, because you were feeling some type of way.
I was.
But I think it was the fact that we didn't have as much time to like shoot it, and then you have a new schedule with your lifestyle.
Yeah, I work overnight.
Yeah,
so I was really tired and.
Right, but we made it happen.
We made it happen.
We've had so many. See, this is the thing. Quirky Girl, my memoir-esque book that is forthcoming, I'm going to be revealing a lot of things about...
Oh, I shouldn't have said it. Sorry.
That's okay. There's a lot of things about that's fine. The ins and outs and the ups and downs of producing my web series and what it's like. There's always a challenge,
right? Even
if it's small, but we always work it out, whatever the challenge is. And that's the thing you have to understand when you're doing a web series or producing one, or if it's a small short film, any type of film project, you have to anticipate there are going to be challenges. It's how you work around those challenges. And if you have the right team around you who have the right mindset and the focus level, you're going to get through the challenges and you're going to be able to produce what you set out to do. And you just can't give up. And that's the main thing with anything, is perseverance. So I've been learning that, and that even with success, the small amount of success I've had with the Quirk Chronicles, I've learned, and it's something that's been told to me when I was younger, I learned that success is never final, and it can be said for just where I am right now. Because even obtaining certain things, there's always like the next level.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing because I got Scottsboro Boys right after graduating from college, and I was pretty much the first one out of my class to book something that big. For as long as I did it, and yeah, by the time we got to LA, like I was meeting celebrities like Angela Bassett. Shout out to Angela Bassett. I had a very long, hours worth discussion with her about acting. You know, she was just talking to me candidly. And I remember standing there talking to her in the party and asking myself, well, how do I top this? Like, you know, what's after this?
You said she's very down to earth.
She is. She's really cool. Maybe I can share this like story.
Speaking of that, we don't have time for that.
Okay.
Or maybe when you come back and we do the gluten-free apple pie,
Gotcha.
you could expand on the Angela Bassett. She gave a kick-ass acceptance speech for Black Girls Rock recently. It was very inspiring. She was the recipient of, I believe, like kind of like a lifetime award or a very iconic, respectable award for Black Girls Rock. And so she's always inspiring. She's an actress that I've always admired from afar since like Boys in the Hood, What's Love Got to Do with It, Waiting to Exhale. And every role, regardless of how big the movie is, she always leaves like an indelible impression on the screen.
Where's her Oscar?
She is a fantastic actress, and you know, she's had a lot of interesting experiences. You know, Halle Berry won the Academy Award for Monsters Ball. That role was actually Angela Bassett. She backed out of that role because of aspects of the sex scene. And she was asked, like, how do you feel about, you know, when you turn that role down and it went to Halle Berry and she won the Oscar? She said that she felt because she stick to her convictions that she had no major, like, regrets about it because of she wanted to feel comfortable with, you know, her standards or what her terms were. And that's the thing for certain actors is being true to themselves with any given role. Of course, there are always going to be some hits and misses. Like Will Smith, he was supposed to be Neo in The Matrix. And he didn't know that was going to be as big as it was. And Keanu Reeves made that role what it is. But you can imagine it could have been Will Smith in that particular role. And so it happens. And there's so many stories we give about like actors who were initially intended for this that didn't get it and someone else got it, and how that, you know, made them feel what they learned from not getting the part or getting the part, etc., etc. You know, it's even happened with Stephanie Mills. Like Stephanie Mills did not get the film, but she won with the Broadway production of The Wiz, won a Tony, but the film actually went to Diana Ross, and the politics surrounding that as well. And there's so much we could talk about with films. I love talking about films. I am a film buff. I do have a background in film and media. Communications, film and media, that's part of my background as well. So I've taken film criticism courses. I've analyzed the theory. So I'm not just someone that, you know, that's something recent. I never would have thought I would be creating a project being in front of the camera, but I spent a lot of time behind the camera looking and studying a lot of the great artists and like the film directors and the producers and just studying those films that are regarded as great, like what made those films great. So a lot to be shared in my forthcoming memoir, I, Quirky Girl. And in the meantime, we're going to transition to the other side. When I say the other side, we're talking back there, the other side of the kitchen, so you can actually see pad thai being made in front of your eyes. Like, you know, no movie magic, but maybe Quirk magic. So stay tuned, more to come, right? Okay, I'm going to put in some of the, I put oil in there. It's popping back on.
It's popping.
I put oil in there. I tried to show that, but I had to turn it down. It's a wok, so we got to wok it up.
You know the battery life coming on this one,
It's alright, just keep going until we do this. Okay.
Now your hands are in this, but not your
face. It doesn't matter. Just gonna make sure that you can see.
Yeah.
Alright. This is gonna be interesting. It may not turn out the way I want it, but let's keep the face. Okay, we got this stuff.
What's that?
This is all of our sauce. This is the chili sauce. I'm glad you asked that. Salt and pepper. And we need this to basically flavor our pad thai.
Okay.
Were you able to see that? Yeah, just because I'm from Philly, I have no patty, bro. I have no patty, but I do have a couple
Patty.
Patty. I have a couple of cookbooks.
We coming for your gig, Patty.
No, we're not. Absolutely. I know better. I'm putting fish sauce in.
fish sauce.
Yes! A lot of Thai dishes, Asian cuisine feature fish sauce. And this is another form of flavoring. And so we also have, we're ready for our noodles. If you could pass the noodles, David,
Yes,
I would be much
ma'am.
appreciative too. Our noodles took forever and they're hot.
They're hot.
Okay.
Dump them in there.
Not all of the
Oh.
noodles. This is the thing. I gotta be careful how much we put in.
They're sticky.
Yeah. And they're gluten-free and they're hot. Oh my god.
Oh,
Freaking
here it
hot.
comes, here it comes.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, that's enough.
There you go.
Okay, can you put this on
Yes.
the board?
Yes.
The board there. Thank you so much. Okay, let me just kind of like spring it in a little bit. Can we mix it? Yeah.
A lot of noodles.
Just a lot. It is a lot of noodles, but that was enough sauce because I don't want to make it so. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. I don't want to make it so spicy for you. But at the same token, we need bean sprout. This is another ingredient we need.
Bean sprout.
As is, you just wash it off pretty good. And then we're going to put in our tofu.
Here's that tofu.
Yes, tofu is really cool. It's high in protein. I love tofu. I know you said you're not a fan of it, but
I mean, but it does take on the flavor of whatever you cook it with, right?
yes. The last thing we have to do is add some egg to it. Let me add some prawn. This is another word for shrimp.
Are these cooked already?
Yes, they are. They just they have to be rinsed, and they are cooked. They came out of the pack, cooked already. So let's get this prawn in there. Okay.
We're gonna mix all that goodness together.
And
It smells good.
yeah, it does. It's a fun dish to make. It's a little dry, so we're gonna put more of
Mr. Dad.
more fish sauce. We're gonna add a little bit of water. We're gonna add a little more water. Just add a little moisture. And a little bit of oil. Just kind of juice it up a little bit. Then we're gonna add a little bit of my lazy Susan. Let's see what else I have in here. Extra oil on the other side. Oh, it's right here.
Right there.
I got it. Okay. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil.
A little bit.
I don't know measured up. Okay, how's it looking? Oh, watch that. How's it looking? You got a good angle here? Doesn't it look sexy? That looks real good.
Smells like pad thai.
I know. We're gonna let that cook really well.
We're just gonna let this cook on down for about 6 to 10 minutes.
Okay. Now, it's the next thing. I was like dropping stuff too.
Till we get a nice golden
I'm
crisp.
gonna do this. I know you were like,
Oh my gosh, she's trying to kill me, y'all.
I'm gonna do it again. Right, yes. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to add is
Trying to kill me.
you got a little more color to it. This stuff is bomb diggity, I promise you.
That looks good.
That looks good. Now, I wanted to use peanuts as a garnish, but because we're running low on time, I don't think I'm gonna be able to add them like cut up. But some people have peanut allergies, so it's not like it's a necessity.
I don't.
You said put them in there. Put 'em in. Okay. So the next thing I want to add is the egg. So this is what you do when you want to add the egg. You kind of like split the Red Sea by putting
All to
your
the
egg.
side.
Yeah. So you have a way to prepare it, and then you're gonna have to.
Oh
kind of
snap!
cook
Here
on
we
this
go.
bone. Really, you know what? I should be doing this. I'm gonna drop it in here first, and whisk it first. Would you pass me a fork, please, David Bazemore, in a second? The second. That
This
one.
one?
Second.
This one?
Next one.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Careful. Got it back there. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. I'm just gonna like. Do you need whisking the eggs? You all that good stuff? Alright. Here we go. Okay. So I'm just gonna cook all that and let that cook on that side until it cooks enough. This out of the way. You move that to the other side. Yeah, these are even the jiggers.
Still filming?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just basically, I'm cooking the egg on the side. And the egg, once it cooks a little more, the egg will join the rest of the pad thai.
It will join.
It will merge.
It will merge with.
Could you do me a favor? Could you open that cabinet to the left?
This one?
Yes, and there are plates in there.
To the left, to the left.
And you're gonna sample it. Sorry, okay. You're able to see me? Do you see me?
Yeah, I got you.
I do make a lot of Beyonce references.
I know, it's like you're...
Shout out to Coachella. Shout out to Coachella.
Speaking of Beyonce and Coachella, do you realize she was nominated for 6 Emmys?
And she got snubbed by a karaoke segment. I'm sorry. I love the karaoke segment. You know who I'm talking about. It's great. But what Beyonce did was like really... it was defining for us, for our culture, you know what I mean?
I think it was politics.
She put it all on stage. Like when I first saw it, I was like, this is the blackest thing I've ever seen in my life. For a fine artist.
I can relate to it because I went to a black school in high school that had a black marching band. So I know what the whole black band experience
what
it's about. I can relate to it as I grew up with it.
A karaoke segment though, over all that hard work. She even gave you insight on like...
Well, this is what someone said. They were saying that it maybe has something to do with the fact Beyonce is more of a team, and some of those other individuals were like individual. But I think that's BS though.
I don't think the team to do anything when you're like in media. Yeah.
Okay, so this.
So we pissed B. So if you end up watching this, we pissed.
So we have pad thai. We have pad thai.
Yeah. I think it's done.
It is. Alright, I'm gonna take it off for this scorches. Okay, I want David Bazemore to try some.
I want shrimp in mine.
You want shrimp? Should be ready. Let me get enough for you.
Oh snap.
Oh snap.
You got a fork.
That fork. Try it.
Fork. Sorry. Right here, right?
Yep, you got it. Get the big one. Get the big one. Yeah. You get the king size. Okay, David Bazemore is going to sample
getting this amazingness. Alright, I gotta try to get a little bit of everything. You got some onion. It's really hot.
It's hot as hell. I don't want you burn your mouth. It's so hot. Look at it. It's piping hot.
It's really hot, guys.
It's piping hot.
I got some of the egg. I got some of the shrimp. I'm stalling.
It's piping hot.
We can cut out me blowing on this until it cools down.
We blowing the whole thing, right?
Alright, we'll try it. Here it is.
It's hot. Where'd you put the peanuts?
It is good.
Alright, it's pad thai. Oh. There's that sriracha kick.
It's hot.
There's that sriracha. It's good though.
I have some too.
Where's my water?
Yours on the table.
Okay.
So would you start with prawn or shrimp? Let me try. It's very hot. It's piping hot. You're able to see? You can get it on me now. And we're back again in our final segment where the pad thai is cooled down. It was piping hot when it came off the stove. David, it was burning his mouth.
It was.
But so how does it taste overall?
It's delicious. I love it. I don't know if you guys know this, but I've been eating. I pretty much have to get more soon.
Was it too spicy?
No, it has a light, like peppery kick. It's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah, it is a little spicy, but not. It's a little spicy. It is a little, but I normally
You're
make
right.
it not like that kind of spicy, but I put a lot of sodium in it. So I tried to make this for an individual. I did it once a few years back. He didn't like it. So he was like, I prefer McDonald's.
What?
So you can see it didn't work out. He thought McDonald's was better than pad thai. I learned travel Southeast Asia and learned how to cook a meal.
You
Got a
want
certificate. You want McDonald's, right?
Oh, weird.
I'm like, next.
Right. Right.
Get your basic butt out of this kitchen, right? To the left, to the left. Yes, yeah. To our left, right? Yeah. Our right, your left. So, Dave's got to go. He's got something planned for this evening. It's a Sunday. So, we've had a great time.
We did.
There's more that we could have talked about, but unfortunately we're out of time.
We'll get to it though, another time.
We've got 6 minutes, so we can squeeze anything in.
Yeah, you can talk.
Well, visit me Autumn Simmons, producer, writer, creator, star of the sitcom web series, the award-winning sitcom web series, Quirk Chronicles. Our official website, thequirkchronicles.com. There's a wonderful website for all those who are curious about the Quirk Chronicles. We have a beautiful photo gallery that also features wonderful pictures featuring David Bazemore. I like saying words twice sometimes. It's just, I do that at times. So anyway, we also have a Quirk shop. I call it the Quirk Toy Shop because it's inspired by episode 4, and I didn't really talk about that, but I'm going to be selling sex toys.
Like really?
For real, he didn't know, so I went to see the look. I'm going to be selling sex toys inspired by A Taste for Satisfaction, episode 4. So check out that episode again. And what else do I have in store? But my handles are the Quirk Chronicles 1 on Twitter. Okay, I'm on Facebook, Philly Quirky Girl. Instagram may come back, but it was the Quirk Chronicles on Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, but you have to hit the notification bell, like and subscribe. I'm going to say that again. I like to say things twice. And like and share this video. And Pad Thai, so.
So good.
What are your handles again, David?
Bazemore David for Instagram and David Bazemore for Facebook. Currently I have a picture of me with wings behind me.
He's an angel.
Yeah.
He's an angel.
Check me out.
Check him out. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Delicious.
Happy plate. Bazemore, thank you so much for joining us for this wonderful episode. It's an episode.
Oh, wow.
A different type of episode.
Okay.
Because we're going to come back. Maybe schedules permit.
Okay.
And then we're going to do a gluten-free apple pie.
Okay.
As we converse in the kitchen.
I'm for it.
Yeah. And so thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. Thank you.
Yes.
And I can't wait to see what this looks like. I'm curious.
Right.
We had a lot of fun
doing
this. I hope I don't have pad thai all over my door. Pad thai all over my mouth.
No, you're good.
I'm good. Okay. So, yeah, shout out to everyone who's watching. And thank you so much for tuning in. We'll do this again sometime. It was fun.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Okay.